Well, it took about a week and I ran out of wire again, and I'm not really using a lot of it. Ran out of gas, and here's a new cylinder, $80. And the guy said that it should run 3, 4, 5 spools of wire. I didn't even run one through it. So he says there's bound to be a leak someplace. Now, the guys that stole my last welder, they'd kind of did a hokey job of stealing it. Left my regulator, and I assumed this regulator was good. I put a clamp and stuff on here, and I got it clamped into the welder, but I got a feeling that somehow the setup is losing gas. It's just going through gas way too much, and a new regulator is like only $100, and a bottle of gas is 80, so it don't take a lot of gas to buy a new regulator. So I'm going to check all the connections in here and see if I can figure out where the solenoid is in this welder, and just put some soap and water on it, see if I can figure out where my gas is going. Well, it shows I got I don't know where anything's at here. 2,000 pounds, and I'm about 10 cubic feet a minute. I've just got some soapy water here. I don't see or hear any leaks here. And hit this one down here. See nothing there. Looking here, listening at my tip. I don't hear any leaks. Probably not a good idea to put water inside of here. It's turned on. I don't know where the gas solenoid is. I don't know. See some bubbling going on right here. All right. It's got nothing to do with the thing. Maybe I'm looking for big leaks and I'd be worried about little ones. So sure enough, this is leaking. Looks like it's also leaking out of the valve where it goes into the tank. Down here, no bubbles, but for sure I got 2 leaks. One where it's going into the tank. Give that a good tighten. A little more water on it. I'm definitely leaking where it's going into the valve there. Alright. Well, I know this was not a... This fitting wasn't the right fitting for this regulator. So I just kind of forced it in, and I need to take that apart, clean it, put some JV weld or something in it, but that's a source of a pretty good leak. Well, I cleaned that up real good and JB welded it into the valve body, and I filled that barb there that's going into the hose. I filled it with JB weld as well, and this is JB quick. It'll harden up in probably 15-20 minutes, but I believe that's going to be enough to seal it good. There's a lot of it. I'll put some more on here. So I think this will work. Just wait and see. Here we are a few hours later. Look, I'm a little above 20 there. 20 what, I don't know. Nothing's happening here at the take. No bubbles here. Well, I can use this as a magnifying glass. And this says 2,000 pounds. So I've got a full tank. No bubbles. So it looks like my thing was a success. I'm gluing it together. And I don't know how long it'll take for this to drain. Looks like this gauge is marked. I don't have my glasses on. No idea. CFM. So it looks like I got this cranked up to about 20 CFM. Let it out and see what happens. Close it a little more. Open it just a tad. Oh, I turned the tank off. Close it a little. Okay, now I'm about 6 or 7. We're about 6. I'm going to leave it at 6. If that's accurate, that should give me I lowered it about a third, from 10 down to 6, 4/10. That give me a 40% longer, hopefully. We'll find out. Here's Mr. Fender all flanged. I drilled some holes to mount it here in the flange, and I marked them here on the bed, but it's all back part of it's all welded up and ground down. And I'm not really going to do anything to this front part here, but this back is going to be kind of floppy. The front part is going to have a bolt here, of course a bolt there in the bottom, and that's going to be held good in 2 places, and this is all real solid. So this back part is that goes against this is going to be the floppy part. So once this has got 2 or 3 bolts in it, it'll really hold this front pretty solid. But like I said, I've got it cut up and ground down. Now I'm just going to put a thin coat of bondo around here, just to clean up this little gaps and stuff that I might have had in here, and just give this fender a little rounder cut. Looks like I got a little grinding to do right there. Anyway, I'll throw some bondo on it, have a look. Not too surprisingly, it took very little. Mostly you can see right in here in this corner. Nearly all of that will get sanded off. It just tells me my metal work was pretty good. So there's this one. I don't know what I'm going to do about this. I should have something on it. Don't know what yet. But this will harden up, and I grind it all off. I used what was left of it there to kind of fill some of this bed. But I need to DA that, put another good coat on it. And I just need more bondo work on this whole thing. And that little bottom piece down there, need to work on it a little. Clean up here where it was burned, and hopefully a couple coats of bondo, and putting the fender on and off, and I'll get this thing done. So I think I'll have lunch, let this stuff fire up, and we'll try another test fit of the fender. Well, I knocked it down. Looks pretty good. Good enough for what I was after. Probably see a few high spots in there, but I don't really care about that. And I knocked this down, just flattened it out, mostly got it on top. Get me a straight edge here and mark some of my low spots, and I'll stick this fender on, see how good it fits, and we'll try to get this knocked out, finish up this bondo work. And here's a pretty close to the last coat of bondo on here. There was one little low spot, and I kind of cleaned this up. That's all pretty flat, and I should be able to put a real final coat in there and sand it all down, so it's real close to being straight. I knocked out some of the dents and stuff, put a couple thin coats on it, and then used a drywall knife to get a wide flat spot. So this is good enough for this. That's the final coat of bondo. It just basically filling scratches. I think that's good enough for I can put some icing or something, or real thin bondo, but that should be good to final sand. I was looking at this tailgate. I got probably an inch in the middle, and this bar is comes closer to square than it is round. And I've got a hold here where I cut off the piece, but it's only welded right here on the top. I don't think I've got any weld down in here, so I can cut off this. I can cut out this tail piece, and I'll have to take my lights out, but this is this is bad. It's I didn't even really try to straighten it out. I just roughly did it. The bottom bar is round. This one here, like I says, but I can get a square. I mean, like I said, it's square, but I can get a round in there. I can probably find a pipe and drive in there, and then tap it around, drive it some more, tap it around. I can probably get this round done. It's kind of straight, isn't too bad anyway, but this bottom piece is gotta be an inch. So I think I'm gonna take those tail lights out. I'm gonna put something in the back. I showed you these sequential things, but I really don't want to waste a lot of time working on it when it's all crooked. And I can cut it off right here. This one here is it's probably pretty bad too, but I can cut this whole gate off and put it on the floor, and I could knock it mostly straight. That's That's the worst part. And I may do something to make it hinge. I doubt it, because I've got not really much of a bed. You know, it's a 1.5 feet or something, and I've got some chains, but I know to try to make this hinge, and I can make the hinge easy, but hooking up where it'll lock with the chain, I know that's a real pain. But it'll be pretty easy to fix the gate. So I'm gonna cut this gate off and then work on straightening it out. Well, I chewed on that with a board sander. It's a new cheap one. It kind of works. I think it just needs to be broke in, but I pretty much got all of it. There's some rough spots, but it's good enough for seeing what we look like. So I'm gonna stick this fender on here and give it a test fit. It's real nice. I've got like a 1/16 of an inch all the way across there, and I've got a place for 2 bolts to bolt in right here. So that's real nice, very straight. I'm real pleased with that. I've got a little bit of clearance there. This still has to be pushed in a little. It looks like I got to trim that very bottom piece. Maybe not. This is fitting real good in here. Yeah, that's fine. So there's Mr. Fender in its final stage. I guess what I need to do now is go ahead and put the bolts in it where I've got my mounts, and then mock up this inner fender brace that's going to hold this right here, and that should be a pretty much a done deal. Took quite a bit of work on this one, but this bed was pretty bad, but I've got it straight with a board sander there, so anything else would be fairly minor. It's going to be plenty good enough to primer, finish up my bed mounts. So I guess I'll do that, and then I'll move on to that bed tailgate. So I'm going to take a break, have something to eat,